Okay, let me start off by saying everything I say is bullshit, but this is you. Let's talk about worry, okay? So you have your little life, and then there are rings of worry. So this is William Wayne Whitaker's Rings of Worry, okay? So how you need to look at life and how you're worrying about every fucking thing that comes into it is that we've got these rings of worry. This first ring of worry is death. It's the ultimate worry. It's the constant worry. In fact, if you're worrying about anything more than death, then you're fucking up because death is the ultimate worry, right? The problem is there are sections of worry. Okay? What I call this area is the who gives a fuck area. What I call this area is the important worries. And what I call this is catastrophic worries. Okay, so let's try to give some examples of this so we can get the ball rolling on why we're having this conversation. Okay, so first of all, what should be down here in the who fucking cares? Well, this is like, maybe up closer to the top is the weather tomorrow. Maybe down here is the local high school volleyball game, because who gives a fuck, right? And really, who gives a fuck about the weather unless it encroaches on important worries like getting to work tomorrow, like mowing your neighbor's lawn and it's gonna storm outside, blah, blah, blah. Okay, now in the important section, this is where we should worry. This is where worrying is, it is natural, it is beneficial to worry about things in this zone. So right on this bottom line, this is your bread. This is you having things and stuff. This is you making money. This is you having a job. This is you taking care of yourself. That's why that's at the bare minimum of important worry, because anything below it, anything that is not helping your life, pay for things, take care of yourself, keep yourself healthy, it's probably who gives a fuck. And anything that's outside the reach of what you can do with the power of money and hard work is probably catastrophic, okay? So, something like the reason that people fuck all this up is because they're not putting the appropriate worry in the appropriate worry zone, okay? So a perfect example is interviewing for a job, okay? You got to interview for a job tomorrow and you're paralyzed with fear, okay? So where do you think interview tomorrow is? Yeah, interview tomorrow is way up here. It's in the I'm scared shitless of this interview tomorrow, okay? This is wrong. Now, should it be down here in who gives a fuck? No. It should be right above bread, because you got to worry about getting this job a little bit more than you have to worry about paying the bills, because without the job, you can't pay the fucking bills, okay? Now, if you have your interview up here, well, it's so far above reasonable importance that you're not going to work towards it. You're not getting ready for the interview tomorrow. You're having panic attacks. You're focusing on your breathing and your palpitations. You're not getting anywhere. You have to put it in the right fucking section, okay? The same thing with worrying about shit that does not fucking matter. This is Trump tweets, okay? This is when your whole fucking world is revolving around something that is so far out of your control and the reason you should worry. Trump tweets should be right under volleyball high school tournament, because you can still go to the volleyball high school tournament. You can donate to it. You can show up and take pictures and donate it to the local newspaper. What you can't do is a fucking thing about Trump tweets. You can't do anything about your neighbor's attitude. You can't do anything about, the local speed limit. All this shit is just bullshit. This is, why are you wasting your time on it? Now, if your interview is in the right spot, then you're going to go into it knowing this is important. I need sleep. I need nutrition. I got to have my head straight. I got to go into this and act like I want it. Can you do that when you're comparing it to having cancer? Because that's what's right beside the death wheel, is something so vital, something so important, you can't possibly focus on important shit because you're going to die soon, okay? The job interview tomorrow, you're not putting it in the right spot. You need to put it in the right spot. That's why we fuck everything up. We're worrying. It's not about stopping worrying. You can't stop worrying, especially if you're a worrier like myself. What you can do is you can tell yourself where this shit belongs, okay? You don't, if you have cancer, you don't want to put it here. It's vital. If you don't have cancer, you don't want to think that the lump that you found next to your balls is cancer. Because now you're putting a serious, crazy worry way up high when it could just be, you got a weird zit on your balls, man. So calm the fuck down and try to categorize your worries in their appropriate zones. Because if you don't, you're gonna end up hurting yourself, worrying about fucking Trump tweets next to death instead of leaving the Trump tweets and the who gives a fuck and thinking about your job and fucking what you eat and how you sleep and who you care about and do they give a fuck about you. That's the stuff you should be worrying about, okay? Then it gets crazier. Maybe next time we'll do it, but this is the will happen. This is the what I want to happen. This is the what I don't want to happen. And this is the what already happened. The rings of worry, they can encompass your entire life if you let them. But the trick is to categorize these things to where they should be. You know, the very bottom of what already happened, that should be like you tripped in middle school and everyone laughed at you. Okay? Who gives a fuck, right? Move on with your life. Something you should worry about is how you ruined your relationship with your parents because you were a young asshole. Okay, maybe we should bring that up because that's going to be something that is reflected in your will happen important worries. Your parents will die. You will regret some tumultuous relationship, whether it's just needing closure even, okay? So all of this, and then you have the worst one, which is the things I'm worried about that I don't want them to happen, okay? Because you don't know that they will. So you're just making the shit up as you go. You're telling yourself that, well, I so desperately don't want cancer that I'm going to act like I fucking have it. I'm going to worry about it every day. I'm going to research it. I'm going to read on it. I'm going to consider myself a half-ass expert in my weird concern that is merely a possibility, not a fact. If it's a fact, we move it over here. If it's not, it's made up bullshit that you've made up that you're worrying about. Why are you worrying about something that's made up bullshit? Because you're so good at telling stories, especially telling yourself stories, that you believe the bullshit. You believe that the thing you're worrying about is actually worth worrying about. It's not. It's not. Unless it's really worth fucking worrying about. Is it close to death? Are you gonna die? Let's worry about it. Is it close to fucking high school volleyball games? Let's leave that shit out of our worrying brain. Because there's plenty to fucking worry about. You're gonna have, you know, your wife, your kids. You have already plenty to worry about. The fact that you're so good at making up stuff to worry about, you're manifesting this false future that you're dreading, and that's no way to be. That's no way to sleep well. That's no way to have energy to do the things you actually love. Because, you know, when you're worrying about what could be, you can fuck it up by worrying about something that is good. Like, oh shit, I can't wait to see the new Star Wars movie. I'm worried it might fucking suck. You know what I mean? So why? Why waste brain cells, time, energy on worrying about something that is good or that doesn't matter or that may not ever fucking happen? The more you worry about the stuff that you should worry about, the less you worry about bullshit, the better off you'll be. But remember that everything I say is bullshit.